I'm Melissa Nakhavoly at the Ontario Court of Appeal, where it was a losing battle for Premier Doug Ford after his fight against the carbon tax was defeated, thanks to a decision calling the federal tax constitutionally sound.
Make no mistake, the carbon tax is the worst tax ever.
It's another legal blow for the Ontario PCs.
Today's decision by the Ontario Court of Appeal is a win for the environment. It's a win for taking action on climate change. And it's a win for Canada both today and for future generations.
The vote was 4-1, ruling Ottawa has a right to charge polluters in what they call a national concern. Premier Ford argued the act is a violation of the Constitution because it allows the federal government to intrude on provincial jurisdiction.
We have a climate crisis. Everybody knows that. And the idea that you would be spending money and engaging in efforts to undermine any action on climate action is outrageous to me.
Money to the tune of $30 million Ford had previously pledged to fight to eliminate the carbon tax. It's funding the Canadian Taxpayer Federation says will pay off in the long run.
As an organization, we would hope that Doug Ford would take this fight to the Supreme Court level. This could have really important reverberations all throughout the province. It's not just at the gas pumps that people are paying for the carbon tax. It's on even essentials like when you're buying milk at the grocery store. Anything that has to be transported the price will have been inflated by the carbon tax. So for us, this is a really big fight. It is expensive to fight it in court, but the expense outside court will be that much greater that we strongly are urging Doug Ford to take this to the Supreme Court level.
But some argue otherwise. The Saskatchewan government went through the same thing. The Trudeau Liberals also winning in that ruling after the Saskatchewan Court of Appeal rejected right-wing Premier Scott Moe's attempt to scrap the tax.
Some provinces don't seem to see it as the emergency that it is. But the courts did agree that in Canada, climate change is a national concern requiring national action.
Climate change is real, and that human activity is the primary cause of that. And this is now settled. There will always be a time for politics, but you cannot deny the science and the evidence, which is unequivocal.
This afternoon, federal Conservative leader Andrew Scheer sent a note to media saying in part that he agrees with one justice's statement that, quote, Parliament cannot insist that its preferred means of dealing with the problem be implemented by the provinces when that means encroaches on provincial lawmaking authority, and adds, quote, Ontarians have said loud and clear that they do not want Justin Trudeau's carbon tax. In addition, new changes were made toughening the natural gas plant's emission standards. It's unclear at this point if Premier Ford will take this fight to Supreme Court. Melissa Nakhavoly, City News.